A lot of pollution probably around the Indian subcontinent.
True. I would be an activist, though.
You would be an activist fish.
Chaps would swim intentionally into like a 6-pack holder of soda, and then beach himself on shore next to a wildlife photographer. Make sure that you're false flag. You'd be the Jussie Smollett of fishes.
It would be, yeah.
Welcome back to Nanodosing. It is Tuesday. It's October 15th, and today's episode is brought to you by Steven Singer Jewelers. Everyone loves talking about our friend Steven Singer. You've seen the billboards. You've heard the expression a million times, I hate Steven Singer. Why? Because most other jewelers hate him, because Steven has the best quality, real natural diamond jewelry at the very lowest possible price every single day. No phony sales, fake discounts, or pricing games. No nonsense ever. Just easy and fun. That's why he's a jeweler that you can trust. Steven also has the best guarantee in the jewelry business, a full 100-day, 100% money-back guarantee. Plus, they have an unbeatable full-value lifetime upgrade on center diamonds, diamond stud earrings, and solitaire pendants. Plus, they got free shipping both ways. No one does real diamond jewelry better than Steven Singer. Visit our friend Steven Singer in his showroom at the other corner of 8th and Walnut in Philly, or online at IHateStevenSinger.com. Steven Singer Jewelers, that's IHateStevenSinger.com. Check them out. All right, we're back. It's Nanodosing. We got Chaps and Donnie joining us today. Big day for you guys.
Yes, sir.
Pod launch day.
Yep.
The pod has been launched.
Officially launched.
My first official podcast at Barstool Sports.
Is that true?
I've tried doing video podcasts in the past, but this is my first one that you'll also be able to find on Apple and Spotify.
That's probably the longest that any Barstool employee has ever gone by far, working at Barstool before doing their first podcast.
Yeah. I've never had my own producer. And so producing my own videos and then a podcast on the side was just too much. But now I got Chaps backing me up.
Hell yeah.
Very cool. So it's Donnie and Chaps, and what's the name of the podcast?
Drop a pin. DAP for short. Dap it up.
I like that.
Yeah.
Drop a pin, and it's a cool concept for a pod too.
Yes.
Maybe you guys can just explain better than I can.
Well, every week we're dropping a pin somewhere on the map and diving deep. We're talking about that location's history, culture, crazy stories, notable alumni, and when possible, we'll have on a guest that has personal experience there to share some crazy stories.
Yeah, like the first episode, we have a dude that went to Syria, and after he had been in country for about 2 hours, he got captured, thrown into the back of a van, and put into prison for a while where the guards didn't speak English. He didn't even know while he was there. The only thing that they told him was that he was there under the suspicion of espionage. So he got stuck in Syria for a while. But it's not just going to be like big countries. We're going to do countries or regions or cities. Like we could do one that's on the Appalachian Mountains. We could do one that's on the red light district in Tokyo or Syria. We're going to do one on Chad, just different places. So if you have a spot that you want us to dive deep in and you have good stories, send them over.
Yeah, we could do an episode on Tennessee with Big T.
Yeah.
Because
Love that.
I'm curious. You got Tennessee in your name. I know you know a ton about Tennessee football, but like, what do you know about the state of Tennessee?
Very geographically diverse state. It's almost like 3 states in one. That's why the state flag has 3 stars on it. It's for East, Middle, and West Tennessee. They're all very different places.
Save it for the pod.
That's a fun
save
fact.
It for the pod, yeah.
Save it for the pod.
You got the Smoky Mountains on the
East
on
Tennessee,
the east.
very Appalachian, very similar to North Carolina, places like that. Middle Tennessee has Nashville, very urban and suburban areas.
Is Knoxville East Tennessee or Central?
East.
Okay.
It's Middle Tennessee, by the way, not Central.
Oh, sorry, Middle Tennessee.
Yeah.
And then the western part, you got Memphis and the Ozarks.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very long state to drive through.
And Memphis might have the worst accents of any city in the country.
Ooh.
Really?
Embrace debate.
Yeah.
Baltimore's up there.
Yeah, it's up there too. But I think Memphis accent is horrific.
They put like an L in there.
Nurse feed. My nurse feed.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Wait, what word are you saying?
News.
Oh.
My nerves feed.
Yeah, my nurse feed.
Interesting.
They almost sound a little bit like old Craig. You ever drank Bailey from a shoe?
I was driving through Memphis, Tennessee.
And we on each other?
Yeah, because I mean, I could tell you pretty much how the first 13 states were founded, but I have no idea how Tennessee became a state. But
I don't know that I know that specifically either.
We'll learn that.
Davy Crockett killed a bear and became governor.
Longtime stoolie Davy Crockett.
Yeah.
He was a huge Newton guy.
Coonskin cap legend.
Uh-huh.
Crockett was a Tennessee guy?
Oh, yeah.
Very famously.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he was also at the Alamo, right?
Yep.
Correct.
Davy Crockett.
Killed him a bar when he was only 3. He killed a bear when he was 3 years old. Did you know that?
Cap.
You don't believe that?
No, absolutely
I believe
not.
it. Davy was different, man. I love that he just wore a raccoon on his head. That's such a cool look.
Yeah, he's struggling around. He's probably going bald and like, I need something to cover up this old bald spot. Let me get this coon head.
Dude, raccoons are so underrated as an animal. This might just be the rabies talking, but I love raccoons.
There's a dude that goes around on like super bikes here in Chicago, and he takes his pet raccoon that he has trained pretty well into like places like O-Town or O-Block.
Yeah.
And
You want to play with a raccoon?
Yeah, and he gets off like they'll be very clearly selling drugs on the street corner, and he'll hop off his bike and let the coon loose. And all the guys are like, "Whoa, where'd that be? Is that your pet?
Yeah,
That
dude.
thing's trained."
Raccoons are awesome, bro. They're fun. They're friendly. They're smart. Are they cats?
Yeah. So I think panda bears are more closely related to raccoons than they are bears. And so I don't know if that answers your question, but
That's
Especially
shocking.
the red panda.
It's shocking to me
Yeah.
because panda bears have such a good PR team, and raccoons have such a bad PR team.
They do.
I would
Don't
say
they all have STDs?
it's
pandas?
koalas.
koalas.
No, I know koalas have chlamydia, right?
Yeah.
But pandas, I think, also have. Do they have syphilis?
Oh, they might.
There's a big
Pandas,
syphilis
like-
outbreak. Yeah,
Pandas don't really have sex though, so I don't know how they're like. That sucks.
they do mouth stuff.
You got STDs without the S.
What that mouth do, Jing Jing?
Yeah, everybody go out there and say something nice to a raccoon today. They've got it tough. Everyone just thinks, oh, you live in the trash, you have rabies. Not necessarily true.
Maybe they do.
Analysis of the vaginal microbiome of giant pandas to study their. There's a company out here, Wiley Online Library has something from Microbiology Open, saying that they did a study where they just studied giant pandas' vaginas.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you think that study cost?
Millions.
I do it for free.
I mean, there's not very many. Think about the resources that there's not a whole lot of panda vaginas.
It's true.
So you have like very limited quality.
So
and quantity.
everything I'm seeing right here is mostly just about how koalas have chlamydia.
Maybe it's just koalas then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just remember hearing that they were having like a very hard time getting pandas to have sex and procreate, and they were in danger of going extinct.
Blue Chew.
Blue Chew for pandas.
Yeah.
Whatever Shannon Sharp was on
Yeah.
when his call leaked.
Bamboo Chew for Chinese pandas. Yeah, that Shannon Sharp video was great. And getting to explain that to Skip Bayless was so fun. he said he didn't have any idea about that Instagram live. I don't know. I don't think that's true. I don't think Skip can actually like fly under the radar.
But he
that
seems
much.
like an integrity guy.
That's true. Skip Bayless, yeah. If there's one thing you could say about Skip, he takes accountability for everything.
He does.
And so we got to reenact the Shannon Sharp video for him. That was fun. All right, but let's get into some stuff here on macrodosing. I'm excited actually to listen to your podcast. So the guy from Syria, real quick, he was kidnapped and he was released. That's episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's episode 1.
Chaps and Donnie have both told me about this guy. Sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
Sounds like a crazy story. I think it's a good idea for a podcast and a good episode 1. Do you have other ideas for what your next episode is going to be? Do you have them taped already?
Yeah, we have a couple taped. We're doing one where it's like a recap of his trip to Mexico. So it's like the Yucatan, like going into ayahuasca and some shroom goof in there. We have an interview with the under shaman.
The shaman's apprentice,
Yeah.
who's a white guy from Ohio that organized the whole retreat. And I thought we would have him on and he would maybe open Chap's mind and make him more willing to try shrooms. I think he probably just terrified you because he was saying.
No, I think I would do it if I was under the tutelage of somebody like the guy that he was talking about.
Okay.
But not this guy.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I'm not going with like a rookie. I need to go with somebody who has a couple Cy Youngs underneath their belt.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Because this dude on the pod, he was like, when you go down to South America and you're trying to do ayahuasca or shrooms, there's really good shamans, but then there's bad shamans known as brujos, which is another word for a witch. And
That's a great name for a witch.
Yeah, and he was like,
And bruja for the ladies.
yes, yep, a bruja. And they were like, if you happen to do a ceremony with a brujo, they can steal your energy and turn your lights off.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he told me that there's another, it's kind of becoming in vogue from Africa, another type that is starting
Abigail.
Yeah, and he said that if I do that I might not ever recover.
I've heard about Abigail
So
before.
I'm officially out on that one.
I've heard Abigail is a lot of addicts do it. They go over to try to cure their addiction to like hardcore drugs, and I've heard good things, but I've heard very bad things too.
Yeah, apparently if you have any sort of heart condition, it can give you a heart attack. But I did meet someone in Mexico who was heavily addicted to heroin for 10 years, did Abigail once and hasn't touched it since.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is
so
crazy.
It helps.
Good for that guy.
Mm-hmm.
So Mexico episode 2.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
and
then we
then
got KB on for an episode.
yeah, and KB wanted to talk about Bhutan of all places.
Oh.
And then we talked to another guy that's been to every country in the world, as well as the North and South Pole. And he's also been to every territory in the world. And he just shared a bunch of stories from all over the place. But he mentioned that his least favorite place was Chad. So maybe we'll make Chad the theme of that episode.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that dude has been to like 1,000 golf courses, every state 3 times, every national park. Like he might be the most well-traveled person ever.
Ever of all time. That's a full-time job too.
And he did it
go check
before he
all
was
those
like
off.
35.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He played golf in Kabul at the Kabul Country Club.
How was that?
In the height of the surge.
Yeah.
How was that? Was it a good, nice track?
He said it was not green at all. There was only-
He
there's
said the
only
putting was
dirts.
rough. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to
Yep.
listen to it. Drop a pin. Dap up.
And
Yep. Be a pinhead.
when you come on, do you have a spot in mind?
So I forget which one of you guys I talked about this, but I was maybe Ecuador. I love Ecuador.
Oh yeah, you
Cool.
talked to me about
And
that.
I've only been there once, but I do love the country, and it's a very cool, like geographically diverse place. You got the rainforest, you got big cities, you got the mountains, and then you got the Galapagos too.
Yeah. So come on, recap your experience there, and then we can dive a little deeper, learn more about it.
What about the Sentinelese Islands?
Wouldn't mind going.
Yeah, has
I
your
wouldn't
guy
mind.
been there?
Go to Sentinelese.
Oh.
Brought to you by our good friends at Dude Wipes.
Yeah, I don't know if your guy's been there.
No,
We should have
So-
asked him that.
because it's not technically a country. So he's going to the territory. So he's been to all 193 that were recognized by the international community. There's definitely is some smaller tribal areas that are illegal to go to, like
Yeah.
that one he can't go. But they've gone to the other illegal spots like North Korea and snuck into there. Americans aren't supposed to go to Iran. He's gone there.
So this guy, if he really likes a place, he can't go back to it, right? Because his calendar's so full, he's got to bounce around.
Well, he has talked to us at the end of the episode 1 about the possibility of going back to Syria where he got captured. Like he wants to kind of go back and leave on his own terms.
All right, good luck.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a
I don't
firm no
think-
for me, dog.
Yeah, I don't think he's in a huge rush. But listen to the podcast. It actually came down to his sister's college roommate knew someone that was able to get him out of Syrian jail.
Holy shit!
3 degrees of separation from Bashar al-Assad.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And now you guys are 4,
True?
Yeah.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
and I'm 5.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well,
Cool.
put in a word with me
Mm-hmm.
with the Bash Bros. So we got some stuff to get into today. Big T, congrats on. I guess you had a double win this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Your Falcons,
Yep.
your Volunteers,
Yep.
defended the homeland
Yep.
against the Florida Gators. Crawled up there, almost got out with a win. Billy Napier's a coward.
You know
by
what
the
they
way.
call almost getting out with a win.
Losing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Tennessee won.
Mm-hmm.
Took it to overtime. Billy Napier's a coward for not going for 2 at the end of regulation.
He lost them that game 4 or 5 different times.
Yeah. When you were watching it, you as a Tennessee fan, you thought to yourself, like, God, I hope he doesn't go for 2, right?
When they crossed the 40, I was already mentally, please don't go for 2.
Yeah.
And then they score, and they go out there. I think they went with the extra point team first.
No, they sent their 2-point team out there.
Then we called a timeout.
I think they were doing the swinging gate play. They had like a weird formation for it.
Right. Then they went out. Did they go out there twice? There were 3. Either way, they went out there with the 2-point team. We called a timeout, and then they decided to kick it.
Yeah.
And I was just so thankful. And then we went to overtime and won.
How do you feel about Nico?
I think he's a freshman.
Yep.
Who needs some more. He had
Wildly different take than 3 weeks ago when I was on here.
yeah. He had some shots in that game that probably should have been caught, and it would have looked better.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not. He needs time. He needs
some
time.
seasoning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were there.
Mm-hmm.
I heard you got on the Jumbotron.
I don't know that.
You were dancing on the Jumbotron?
No, that. Are you talking about the kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about that kid? Can we put that into the episode?
Yeah.
I'm anti that kid.
Okay.
He went on. Let me find the clip. He went on TV yesterday, and which he should enjoy your 15 minutes of fame, young man. He said he's the reason that half the stadium didn't leave because UT was playing so bad that the only reason people stayed was because of him.
They
And
wanna
I'm
see
like,
what the kid
Love
was in.
that.
buddy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it
so
is.
there was like a 9 or 10 year old kid who they put up there dancing, and everybody went crazy. And so and this was like the first half we did not score. We were playing horribly. And they kept putting this kid up there 6, 7, 8 times, and everybody would go nuts. And I was like, I can't believe we're doing this. Is what you do at a Pacers Magic game on December 9th.
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing it as we're scoreless deep into the second quarter against Florida. So they put him up there 10 times. By the end of the game, we win, whatever. And then he goes on local news and says like he's the reason that we won and that everybody stayed. I'm out on that kid.
No way. You got to keep
Out
that
on-
energy. That kid's life is
believe it.
made.
I'm
Yeah.
out on the kid.
You won.
Yeah.
You got to roll with what wins, right? You beat Florida.
You need to bring him
guess.
back.
Oh, I guarantee you he will be in the Lower West Club on the Jumbotron on Saturday
That
against
kid's
Bama.
going to have a
I
podcast
guarantee
before the
it.
month is over.
Oh yeah. Hawk Tua
Co-host.
girl was at the game.
Oh, she was?
VFL, yeah.
Did she get on the Jumbotron?
I don't know. I saw it just like 30 minutes ago. That
She has
was
a
there.
name, Big T.
Haley Welch. Is
Yeah,
that her
Haley
name?
Welch. Come on, put some respect on it.
Okay. Well, she was there.
Is she a lifelong Tennessee fan?
She's from Tennessee, so maybe I don't know.
I'm starting to warm up to Hawk Tua girl.
Same.
Yeah. Once I learned that she was a crack baby, I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
you've done
she
well for
says it.
yourself. Yeah, she
I liked her
came
when
out on
she's,
a podcast and was like, my mom was doing crack when she was pregnant with me.
Well, good for her.
Yeah.
I liked her when she
What a come
announced
up.
the name of her vagina.
What is it?
Big Martha?
Oh my God! See everything. She's so fucking funny, and
or
I did,
Bertha?
funny.
Something like that?
I didn't think that she was gonna be funny, but she actually is.
She's
when,
so funny.
when she's talking about like her shitussy.
yeah.
It's like when your shirt goes all the way down, it gets gobbled up by her cooter.
Are y'all listening to Talk Tua? Where
mean,
is this
there's
coming
just
from?
Just
everywhere.
the clips,
When-
and she has like celebrities on her show, and she's just like doesn't give a fuck that they're there. It's great.
Her advice for young women is spot on. What's good for the whole is not always good for the soul.
It's true.
She sounds like a 55-year-old like new grandmother.
She sounds like everybody I went to middle school with.
Yeah, it's wild, but yeah, I think I kind of like her.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
in on her too.
Yeah. All right.
Nothing against her. I'm kind of surprised that Jake Paul beat Portnoy to the punch of giving her a podcast. Like,
Yeah.
did Dave ever consider that? Because her first podcast ever was on Plan Brie with
That's true. Oh, yeah.
Brianna Chicken Fry. But I think Dave might be a little slower these days.
I just
Oh,
like
damn.
how she doesn't give a fuck. Has Dave lost his fastball?
Dave lost his Old Dave would have scooped up the
Back
Hawk
in
Tua
the
girl
day,
right
if
off
there
the
was
bat.
an attractive blonde woman who was talking about sucking dick,
Yeah.
it would be the biggest podcast ever.
Actually, it's not Dave who's losing his fastball. It's a sales guy because he's the
It's
one
Gaz.
who usually
Gas
finds
should
these
have been
people.
on it.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a big miss by
That
Gaz.
is a gas. That is a
it
gas
was
pull.
crazy. The moment that Alex said Gluck Gluck 3000, it was like, all right, well, now this is a multi-billion-dollar
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, I mean
moment.
the merch that Hawk 2 is going to sell. Excuse me, Haley, Miss Welch.
Yeah.
The merch that she's going to move is going to be staggering.
How much longer do you think Hawk Tua is going to be a thing?
So that's what I'm saying. Like she's kind of funny.
I think people said
think
that
it-
about her, like when she started trying to like do stuff off of the one viral clip. But like now she did it. Like, she's doing it. So I think it's like,
She's past it.
yeah,
already.
yeah. Like,
You
it's
think-
not like, oh, how long is she going to last? Like, she's doing it.
You think Hawk 2 has staying power?
I think she might.
I think she does.
Yeah.
And I mean, the name of her podcast is great too. Talk to her.
And a former macrodosing producer is the one producing her podcast.
Who is it?
Avery.
Avery.
Avery's producing her podcast.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
No way.
Avery is
better,
the
yeah.
talk to a producer.
Good for Avery.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm gonna hit Avery up and say, hey, dude, what is it like being in the presence of greatness?
Yeah.
I know. So I'll see
mean,
clips sometimes, and he's
yeah.
like talking in them. I'm like, holy shit, Avery's talking to Hawk Tua.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That means there's a chance you guys could get the Hawk 2 on macrodosing at some point.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
What could we talk to Hawk Tua
Or
about?
could we go on Talk Tua?
Oh,
I don't think
that's
we're
a
big enough
big
to go and
ask.
talk to her.
yeah.
I
She
feel
has
like she
big
gets-
guests.
She probably likes conspiracy theories.
Got to be on Bill Maher.
I bet
Bill
she
Maher
has
level.
some fucking takes.
Yes,
boy.
that's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
bet she's got some takes.
she could go off.
I want to hear him.
She talks about Pookie. She's got her own Pookie. Yeah, she's got a lot on. She's got a lot to bring to the table,
Oh yeah, Pookie's her boyfriend, right?
but not her boyfriend.
But yeah.
oh, not her
oh,
boyfriend.
it's a whole thing.
It's a
Yeah.
situationship.
Yeah, but she's like, oh, Pookie's sitting outside waiting for me to be done.
I don't like that term, by the way.
Situationship.
Yeah,
I don't really know what it means.
I feel like it's playing fast and loose with somebody's feelings.
It is.
Oh, that's exactly
That's
what
the
it is.
and
that
that
what
is
it
in
is?
fact the situation at hand.
It's not a positive term.
No.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No.
I don't like the term Pookie either. Like, if my girlfriend was referring to me as Pookie, I
Pooks
wouldn't
McGee.
be
No?
a fan.
What's your favorite pet name?
I don't think I've really had one.
No, you have one.
Just like
Babe.
Babe.
The consistence. What about you? You got a good pet name?
Honey.
Yeah.
No.
Hyper Honey.
I feel like honey. There's so many pet names that you can tell the era in which that person received the name. Like deer or honey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's like you got to be 60 plus for those.
My wife and I have a new one over the last like 3 months. Scumbag.
Oh, I like that.
That's great. One night I had indulged in some edibles and I was getting ready to roll over, and I wear earplugs and have like a sound machine, and so I couldn't hear what she was saying, and I thought she said, "Turn the TV off, you scumbag," just like joking around. I'd go, "You're a scumbag," like, to her, and she was like, "What the fuck? Why have we been married this long and you're calling me a scumbag?" I was like, "I thought that's what you said to me." So now I text it to her every time I'm leaving or something.
What did she say?
Sweetheart, or something nice and common, like. But I thought she said scumbag.
Scumbag's awesome. It's a good term of endearment.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's all about the inflection you put
I
on
love
it.
you, you scumbag.
Yeah.
Yeah, you little scumbag.
We got some other stuff going on this weekend. Elon Musk had his big robot festival, which I saw, and I was like, well, those aren't actual robots. I don't know about you guys, but when you saw the videos, and they were being labeled as like, okay, he's got the robot butlers that are being rolled out now and they're good to go. Look at this robot butler talking to somebody outside the event. I was like, there's clearly somebody that has a microphone that's controlling what this robot says. The robot's not like processing this and talking
Right.
back to you. The robot was using terms like or words like like stumbling over its words a little bit.
Those may have been programmed in just because, like, if it stumbles on words, it seems more human.
No, they were controlled. It was like confirmed.
Oh, it was confirmed?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because so they aren't ready to be sold because I was not too impressed with them. Like, all I saw was a clip of it playing rocks, paper, scissors. But it's like, what good does that do me?
Yeah, no good.
Yeah.
Unless you can gamble again. If it has money, if like when you buy the robot, it's got like
Yeah.
$5,000 and you can win money off it. That would rock.
Competitive Rochambeau league.
Yeah, I saw the robot bartender. He's moving slow as fuck.
Yeah, why do we need this stuff?
Nobody wants it.
I agree.
The only people that want it are working in Silicon Valley at robot companies. That's my whole thing with AI. AI, there's I guess some stuff that makes, it makes sense if you're like figuring out a search engine or looking stuff up. But the vast majority of AI stuff out there is only being discussed so much because the people who are making AI are also putting out their own press talking about how this is going to change the world. It's the same thing with these fucking robot bartenders or robot butlers or whatever. Nobody wants a robot bartender. In fact, we talked to that Luddite a while ago, or the guy that wrote about the Luddites that would smash all the printing presses and stuff like that. I think there will be some people that will smash robot bartenders. I think it's Philadelphia probably. They'll probably get the ball rolling on that. I'm not going to actually smash a robot bartender if I see one, but I think I might start carrying around big magnets all the time.
Just put one on the back of it.
Yeah, just put it on the bar. Just a giant magnet. Here you go. This is my coaster.
I like that.
Just arm yourself with magnets against the robot uprising.
Supposedly, they're going to eventually be able to walk the dog for you and things like that. Would you let a robot walk Blake?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
No
not.
chance.
No chance. Baby Dale's never gonna let that happen.
Blake would be terrified of the robot. Now, I do think that we should get one of the robot butlers for the office at Barstool.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
Could you fuck it though?
Eventually, I'm sure you're going to be able to fuck it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Model 1 has a hole, though.
That's the upgrade. You got to purchase the...
Yeah.
It's a hole. It doesn't say
Do you-
what kind it is.
Do you
It's
want it
just
to come with a hole or not?
with sex hole.
Yeah, Model 2.0 has a butthole.
More specifics.
Yeah, just get up that poop chute.
Hell yeah, brother.
Someone's going to try to fuck the robot for sure.
Elon.
But
I mean, if that's your robot,
yeah, he fucks everyone.
yeah, that's
Before it
the
goes up.
quality control.
Yeah. I just don't see why having a robot bartender would be a good thing. Like, all you're doing is you're I saw one person that was like a Silicon Valley VC guy that tweeted out the video, and he was like, this is what you get for asking for $20 an hour minimum wage. Now look what you've done to yourselves. Have fun learning how to code. It's like, why are you actually trying to put people out of work?
Right.
Why are you taking any delight in that? Like, do you think that maybe your children won't one day be bartenders or work in a restaurant? Like, fuck these people that are just trying to force robots. If I go into a bar, I like having a bartender there because you can talk to the bartender. You can have a conversation. The bartender can tell you something about that bar or about, like, I don't know, the area that you're in. You can hang out and drink and have a good time with the bartender. With a robot, takes all the personality out of it.
And if you did want a robot bartender, it wouldn't be shaped like a human. It would be a box.
Like an arm.
And then you insert the money, and then it just kind of like makes the drink for you in that box and then shoots it out.
That's a great point, Donnie.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, the robot bartender can knock stuff over.
Yeah.
The robot bartender probably won't be able to hear if it's loud, if it's like loud music playing in the bar.
Yep.
And then the robot bartender is not going to be able to handle like 6 drinks that are all very specific with,
Yep.
I want this like a little bit dirty, but not too dirty.
And they're going to be too precise with their measurements.
That's right.
Like, you're never going to have, because it's nice to go get like a tequila soda and they slipped in a shot and a half instead of 1.
Yeah.
The robot, it's going to be programmed the moment that it's legally 1 shot. That's
Yeah.
what we're giving you and nothing more.
Drinks are going to get way, way weaker for
I've
sure.
been noticing that in fast food places too around town. Like, that if you go in, they don't give you a full cup anymore.
Yeah.
Like, the clear cup, they'll be like an inch below because they're all on automatic and they have it set lower. And so they're just skimming, like it's like on Fight Club where they're just skimming a penny off the top.
I don't like that.
Nope.
I don't like that. And yeah, the surprise extra heavy pour is always nice because you can go to a bar and just be like, I'm planning on having 1 drink. And then they serve it to you and it's super strong. And you're like, well, they're getting me drunk. I have to, I got to drink this.
When I was in Lisbon, Portugal, they had a beer vending machine while you waited to be seated at this restaurant. And that you just put your money in and then you put your cup below it and it filled it up to the top with beer. That was pretty cool.
I like it when it comes up from the bottom too.
Yeah.
Those
yeah.
are really cool.
Yeah, that's magic to me. I have no idea how that works. Taffer was trying to explain it to us at one point. But yeah, fuck the robot bartenders. Nobody wants it.
Nobody
wants this. The robot walking your dog, the robot babysitter or nanny.
Yeah,
Would you
that's
trust your kids with it?
The robot military working dog.
Okay, now we're talking.
What about the robo van that he revealed, though?
Yeah, that one was a little bit cooler, I think.
Yeah.
I like the way that all of his designs are just like my drawings from when I was 6 came to life.
Well, his whole thing is that now is the future. It should look like the future. Because back in the 80s, when everyone's like, what's the world going to look like in 2020? And that's exactly what it looked like. All those crazy shaped cars and robots and stuff. And he's like, it's about damn time we start looking like the future.
Yeah, where are flying cars?
Yeah.
What about that? What about those?
There is there's like a new type of flying car released every year, but I don't think we're ever going to see them.
I think they're a little bit too dangerous too.
Yeah.
Like, we can barely
Make it
drive.
commonplace.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing is I do think that within the next probably 30 years, driving is going to be mostly done by robots. The self-driving
Yes.
cars. Do we want that? Because it would reduce traffic fatalities by a whole lot, and a shitload of people die every year in a car crash.
I'm okay with that. I mean, takes away like the whole drunk driving thing. Like there's so many drunk drivers out there these days.
I'm very cool with it if we do a lot of upgrades in the back seat. Because I got an Uber the other day. It was like this Mercedes, like a really nice Mercedes. And I sat in the back, and it was a sedan. And it was the most comfortable thing I've ever sat on. Like, bar none, doesn't matter what, inside a hotel, wherever. So unbelievably comfortable. If we could get to the place where you have automatic drivers to places and you're in that type of comfort, sign me up.
That's a big liberty argument, though. People are like, I like the liberty that having my own car and being able to drive. I like that.
I think you should be able to turn it off. For
Yeah,
sure.
you could still do it.
You could still drive.
I would assume.
Do you think in the, like 50 years from now, cars that like new cars that are going to be made are going to have that option?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like planes. A vast majority of planes are flown by autopilot from takeoff to landing now.
Yeah.
But you could still turn it off,
Yeah.
even though it's way better.
Yeah.
So then drunk driving, you could be drunk and sit in the car while it drives, but then if something goes wrong, you have to take over. You're like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
I'm hammered.
You took a driverless taxi when you were at the Final Four?
I did, yeah. Jeff D. Lowe was all over. He's all over the driverless taxi game right now. So he was like, you guys got to try this out. They got the, was it Waymo? I think that's what it's called. They got the Waymo cars here in Arizona. So we got in, and it freaked me out a little bit, big time. Like it was changing lanes. There was a car that was making a left-hand turn at the intersection in front of us, and it took it like a little too risky because we were coming up on the intersection. This car turns in front of us, and the I like gasped for a second. I was like, is it going to slow down? Yeah, applied the brakes nice and gently. The only thing it was bad for was Mark Titus was in the car, and he had a bad wing experience the night before, and he had some stomach issues. And Mark gets motion sick when he's in a car sometimes to begin with if he's not driving. And so by the time we got out of this car, he was just puking and shitting everywhere. Yeah. He won't mind me saying that.
No.
Yeah. I think we have to blame the wings, though, for that, not the driverless car.
It was so funny, and I hate this that Titus isn't here to defend himself, but I think he'd agree with everything I'm about to say. Mark's not a wing guy. Some of us are wing guys, some of us aren't. He had no idea that guys get together sometimes to eat wings, and it's like a thing. Like, let's go out and have some wings.
What do you mean he didn't realize that?
He just thought that wings were something that you got like an appetizer at the table and everyone has a couple wings, but you don't make a plan to go out and
wing night?
and eat wings. Yeah. Titus is like, if they're at a restaurant, I guess I'll have one or two, but he's never been a let's go out for wings guy. So we made fun of him for about 2 years for that. And then at the Final Four, every year now we have a tradition where we get together for a wing night. It's usually me, Big Cat, Stanford Steve, Russillo, and Titus. And this year at the Final Four, we made our wing plan, and we went to a really good restaurant, good wing place. And Titus wanted to show off, like, yeah, I'm a guy's guy now. Watch this. And I think he had like 15 wings, and then he went home and got immediately ill. And he was sick for, I think, 2 days. And this is at the Final Four, which is Mark Titus's Super Bowl. Like, that's the thing that he cares about more than anything in the world is college basketball and the Final Four. And he couldn't even go to the Final Four because he was just in his hotel room being sick.
That sucks.
And so it's like, yeah, Titus, this is your body just confirming what we always told you, which is you're not a wing guy.
He had just been hired to cover the Final Four for Barstool, too.
Yeah.
Wings threw him under the bus.
Can't make it. I'm sick. I had 10 chicken wings last night.
That's kind of surprising for a guy from Indiana. That sounds like L.A. Mark.
It might be.
Yeah.
Maybe he used to be a wing guy.
Yeah.
Do they have tofu options? Yeah, Titus, it's okay. Just embrace who you are. Don't try to be anything that you're not. Mad Dog, I've got some breaking news.
Oh,
You'll like to hear this.
is it about Deshaun?
Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski reiterated today that he believes Deshaun Watson gives them the best chance to win Sunday, and he is sticking with the quarterback.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
I was talking to one of our sales guys about this earlier. I don't care anymore. Like, there's nothing. I have such apathy for that team. I don't give a fuck. I have bigger fish to fry right now in the Guardians that actually like do positive things for my heart and my soul.
Yeah.
Why like genuinely, like, why waste my time?
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. The Guardians are really distracting from the Browns.
Oh, what a wonderful distraction they are. And I saw a tweet today that said only 448 more days of Deshaun Watson. And that put things into perspective. It's really only like one more season after this. I can do that.
Many days.
That's a year and a half.
I'd be very surprised if he plays for the Browns next season.
Yeah, same.
Do you think they'll just cut him loose and just give him the money?
Yeah. I mean, you got to pay him one way or the other.
Look,
true.
I'm fine with that. I am apathetic, but like Jameis, like just put Jameson. Like, and I saw your guys' clip from Part of My Take about how maybe this is the Haslam's way of giving justice. Like, just he has to stay in and be so bad at football.
Yeah, Stefanski's being an ally, and he's showing kids, here's what happens if you sexually harass women.
You have to be the
You have to be
worst.
the worst quarterback, and everyone has to make fun of you.
And you have to be just so widely hated. But
Yeah.
like
With $200 million
Yeah, I was
in
going
your
to
back
say, he's
pocket.
getting
true.
so made
That's
so
like
much
Mike
money.
Gundy when he said Ollie Gordon's punishment was going to be running the ball 50 times
Yeah.
in week 1 for
Yeah.
getting a DUI.
yeah. But I don't really understand why Stefanski keeps going with Deshaun. In my opinion, I think it's a Haslam issue where Haslam
Yes.
is forcing to keep him in. I don't think Kevin Stefanski wants this.
No.
So I'm not.
He's not dumb. He's
exactly.
a very smart football coach.
He's a two-time coach of the year. Like, I'm not thinking that he's like brain dead.
And Deshaun is, by all metrics, one of the worst quarterbacks in history.
Did you
But,
see?
but he was great for a while.
He was
with
so
the
good.
Texans.
He was
Yeah,
so
not
good.
with us.
Clemson. So do you think it's all just a mental thing? Like after he was accused of all those crimes and just like
I think he's washed. I think it's that. And
I think
no one in the locker room has any sort of like positive feelings towards him. There's nothing to rally around.
Yeah, I think he physically fell off a little bit, but mentally he's a train wreck now.
Yeah, and I think this season is cooked. Like, I have literally no hope. I don't care. I'm not like the game yesterday. Didn't even try to watch it. Like, I just do not care. It is not worth it for me to put my effort into that.
He loves getting sacked.
It's so bad. I saw
He used to be so good at not getting sacked.
I know.
I saw the Myles Garrett clip of the blocked field goal and the touchdown return from Rodney McLeod. Great, cool. That means like that's a cool 10 seconds. Like, I'm not letting it hurt me. And like the game last week against the Commanders, which we didn't even get to talk about because you were gone. Like, that doesn't hurt me in the way it would have hurt me like last year, 2 years ago. Even though Deshaun was the same quarterback, like whatever. I don't have it in me to care.
Yeah.
Which maybe makes me a bad Browns fan, and like John Fanta deserves John Fanta for like watching it deserves all of the credit, but
John deserves better.
John Fanta deserves a million times better.
Yeah, that's the worst part of all this.
Yeah, I grew up with John. He deserves better. Like,
Yeah.
he deserves better, and I just don't give a fuck. The Guardians. Like, why not put 100% into the Guardians
Yeah.
rather than split my heart and be like half sad, half happy? Why not just be 100% happy right now?
There you go. That's a good attitude.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at. But I think it's a Haslam thing. I don't think Kevin Stefanski would want this. I also think that Jameis Winston deserves better as well.
Kevin Stefanski absolutely does not want this. I haven't talked to anybody like with the Browns about this, but I can tell you that Stefanski is not an idiot, and he's doing this very. At this point, he even if the owner is like, yeah, you can bench Deshaun, he might just keep starting Deshaun just to prove a point. Like, I was forced to do this. Look how bad this guy is.
Right. I think the other thing that makes me mad too is that with all of this, I feel like I'm wasting, not me, I guess, but like the team is wasting the prime of some really, really talented players.
You're wasting your prime as a sports fan, maybe? When do you hit your prime as a sports fan?
No, not even like me. But,
When you can first afford to travel to go.
oh, that's
Yeah.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I think it's before that, though.
I think it's your most memorable time, but I think your prime time is when you can afford to go to the game.
So you're saying like post-college.
I think whenever you first get the money where you can do some, like now, if even with your job, right? Like if Tennessee goes to the national championship, you can make it happen where you could go.
Sure.
Like basically, no matter what the price is, you have a good enough job where you could get into the building.
That's definite. I see where you're coming from, but like 12 to 17
Ooh.
is like
it is good, yeah.
It's like the only thing that you don't have to pay bills. You don't have any
Yeah.
relationship to worry. Like the
It's more of
only
your
thing
identity,
you care
too.
about
Yeah.
is that.
Yeah, I think if you can, if you say you get to walk in with your buddies and you won a national championship game or you won the Super Bowl, I think you do it probably maybe junior year of high school. I think is the move, the one where it really sticks with you for a long period of time, sophomore, junior.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Big T. Like the early teen years or even preteen years, that's a really good time to be a sports fan. You know you know everything about
Yes.
every player. You watch every game.
You think they do now though? Because I don't think kids know as many players as we did
You don't think so?
because they don't watch Sports Center over and over again. Like we knew, because now they watch the clips of the players that they like, the home runs that they like, but we used to watch an hour long of going through every MLB team where they would go through like so many players, and
They have the internet though.
Yeah.
yeah, that's big.
I would say
TikTok too.
age 8 to 14 might be your prime years of being a sports fan. Then once you turn like 15 or 16, you got other stuff in your life. You're driving now, maybe girls or boys. You got like social engagement at school that you have to worry about. Maybe you play on your school sports team.
Yeah, you guys are probably right.
And then
I think if of all, like looking at my kid now, if we
Yeah.
won the Super Bowl, it would be McCartney's life for like 2 years.
Yeah. And then you go to college and you still have fun watching sports. College is a great sports. I'm not saying it's a bad time in your life. to be a
Especially
sports
if you're
fan.
going to a big sports school.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're going to like a Clemson
Or
Yeah.
JMU.
or a JMU.
If-
God, I wish JMU was better at sports when I went there.
I think if
Rock.
you could pick anything to win a championship, it would be while you're in college.
Yes,
at
I-
your school.
I-
Like that'd be unbelievable.
I think I would agree with that. I think that might be the highest peak.
Yeah.
Is if you go to a big school and you win a basketball or a football national championship
or baseball.
or baseball national championship. But let's be honest.
Or baseball.
Let's be honest. Not baseball national championships. They're a big deal, but come on, Big T.
It's not football.
It's not football. It's not basketball either.
Correct.
Yeah. And then I think you overall don't have as good an experience while you're in college as you would if you're like 27 with a decent job, no commitments, and you could travel around and you can watch your team. I feel like that's a good sports moment too. And then you become like a child sports fan again when you have kids and they get into it, right? You like hit a second prime. Yeah. Man, I wasted my 20s rooting for some really bad teams. Really bad teams.
But doesn't that make it better now that you have
I tell myself that, but it would have been awesome.
No,
to-
but it's true. It is true.
yeah. Yeah, if you're like Hank, right? And you know nothing but success in all your sports teams.
That's not
Or
fun.
I guess Donnie too. I don't know
Yeah,
if
it
you're
was
like
all-
as big of a you're right up there though with like the Celtics and the Patriots.
Yeah, like I got to enjoy championships in high school and college and those first 5 years out of college where, you know, you finally have some money because you have a job and you don't have as many real life commitments.
Yeah.
And like now that I'm getting to a point in my life where I have like real life shit to worry about, that's when all of my teams have now, well, and actually some of my teams are still good. The Celtics just won, but it's like now that the Pats are bad, it's like I'm fine with that. I had my fun when I was young.
Yeah, but you got Drake May.
Yeah.
Good deep ball.
Yeah, I mean, hey, similar to what Big T was saying, how your QB's a freshman. Drake May's a freshman. He's got a lot of room to grow, but 3 TDs. I like it.
Not a bad start. Then it's rivalry week for Drop a Pen.
Oh yeah.
You guys gonna do a mayor's bet?
Shit. Yeah. Rivalries week for Drop a Pen. We should.
Maybe
What's-
I don't know. The game's in England. You guys should go.
What's a mirrors bet?
A mayor, like mayor,
Oh,
like
okay.
the head of a city.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
whenever two teams play in the Super Bowl, a lot of times the mayors of each city will get together and make some really corny bet with each other. Like, I'll give you a rack of Auntie May's famous St. Louis style ribs if you guys beat us in the Super Bowl, and if you win, I'd like one of the half smoked hot dogs that you guys are known for down there at Union Square.
Okay.
What percentage of those do you ever think come to fruition?
Well, I'm still waiting on my Skyline chili. I'm still waiting on that from Mayor Purival from Cincinnati. Any day now, I'm expecting a pallet.
I think it's less than 50%.
Yeah, probably.
I'm going to be in Vegas for that game, and I really want to go to Stadium Swim.
Yeah.
Those photos look great. Just being able to go hippo mode, watch every game.
Yeah, that looks like a fun time. Also those places where you sit and it looks like you're at the front
So
row.
that's what I was just fixing to ask you. Do you think that's an enjoyable experience?
Yes.
Cosm? Yes.
I don't know that I do.
You don't think so?
So if I'm not at a game, which is awesome, I love doing, I don't want it to look like I'm at the game. When you're at a game, depending on where you're sitting, there's some things you can't see. You don't exactly know what's happening until 2 or 3 seconds later. I want the 4K 1080p TV cameras where the TV cameras are supposed to be.
You want the score bug at the bottom
I'm at home,
telling
yes.
you like how much time on the play clock,
Yes.
how much time on the game clock, how many timeouts.
That is
They
the
probably have a
advantage
score
of
bug there.
watching at home.
I bet they have a score bug.
I'm certain they do, but it's like I don't want it looking like I'm on the sideline. On the sideline, terrible place to watch a game, by the way.
Yeah, but I think they move the cameras around, don't they?
Yeah, they have.
They do different stuff, which also takes you out of the
Immersion.
illusion that they're doing that thing anyway.
I think I like it though. It looks like the technology is cool enough where it feels like you're kind of there.
I mean, obviously, I'd be intrigued to do it. I just don't think it would be my first choice to watch a game.
Yeah.
I will not be passing any judgment until I experience it myself.
Is that only in Dallas, or are there multiple of those?
I think there's a couple of them, right?
Yeah, they just opened one in Atlanta, and then I think they got one in Los Angeles.
Maybe I'll check it out in Atlanta sometime.
Now, I wouldn't go there to watch like a movie. That doesn't sound like too much fun.
Why not? It's just like an IMAX.
A giant screen. I guess I would only want it to get that in stadium feel. Also, I've got a problem. I need to admit that I've got something wrong in my life. I have an issue, and it's been an ongoing issue that's gotten worse. I'm always ordering food to the place that I'm not at.
Saw that you did that again this morning.
Yeah, I did it on Saturday night. I ordered a fuckload of Thai food. I was super excited about this Thai food from one of the places that I've heard so much about here in Chicago. And it felt like a good night to just load up on pad Thai and pad CU and dumplings and spring rolls, you name it.
Crab rangoons. A lot of Thai places have them.
I don't think I got any of the goons. I don't think I was getting gooned up.
Your love for crab rangoons is legit insane.
Saparo's Thai in Chicago. I think those are some of the best rangoons I've had here.
I need to get you in touch. I saw a guy on Twitter. He had a custom hat that was the Colorado Rockies logo, the CR.
I already ordered one.
Come
You
on,
saw it?
brother. You know,
saw
if
it?
it's out there, he's got it. Come on.
I figured.
I ordered it.
Okay.
Do they make like a tri-corner hat, like the old Revolutionary War hats?
hope
That's
it
a Rangoon.
That would be cool.
A Rangoon hat would be awesome.
goon
Get
hat.
Allison on the phone.
Yeah. You could sell
Pilar.
tons of those.
My favorite hat that I had like that was turned into something. I had it made. It was the Pittsburgh Pirate P, and I had it say Pitmaster, and I wore it whenever I barbecued.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's the most dad shit.
I love that. But I've got an issue.
Yeah.
And I do it all the time. So I ordered all this Thai food to the office by mistake. I was at home and I got the call from the guy and he was like, "Hey, I'm outside." So I go upstairs, open the front door, don't see him. And I'm like, fuck. I look at the app. I see that it's at the office. And nobody was here on Saturday either. Usually there's somebody here. So I was hoping that somebody could be able to eat it, but I don't think anyone got it. And then I tried to call the guy back to be like, "Hey, just leave it outside." And then eventually he called me back. And I was like, "Yeah, it's the wrong spot. My fault." And then this morning I did it again. From the office, I ordered soup to my house.
How it doesn't have
I don't know.
sensor on it, like Uber. If
They
you're
do.
calling a regular Uber,
Yeah, it does.
it knows that you're not in the area. Like you seem far away from the pickup point.
Yeah.
How does it not have that for Eats?
It does.
It does.
This is user error.
Yeah,
If-
mine
if you-
has that.
If you have it on the wrong address and you go to the thing, it'll come up with a message that says like, "It looks like you're far away from here. Do you want to change it?"
It didn't
No,
do that to me.
I've done it where I don't get that either.
What app are you using?
I always use Uber Eats, Big T. You know that about me.
Well, if you're using Uber Eats, it comes up with that.
Wait, maybe you have it on your setting where it doesn't always have your location.
that
Because
could,
you know where it's like
yeah.
ask not to track or whatever.
Maybe.
you have that setting turned off and that's what does it.
So I got to figure something out because I'm usually good for one of these a week. So, for example, on Big T, is this your address? It looks like you're far away. Okay, Listen, it's user. I'm not blaming. I don't want to blame the app because it's 100% on me for not double checking. But last Saturday night, last Monday night, I ordered froyo, and it showed up to the office. And the guys from Bob Does Sports were here, so they ate my froyo, which I was happy to donate that to the cause. I think Fat Perez had mine.
Nice.
Gave me a tremendous compliment on the order. Meant a lot to me. So I did that on, I think, Monday. And then on Saturday, I ordered the Thai food accidentally to the office. And today, I ordered the soup to my house. It's a problem.
That's a serious problem.
I'm upwards of $200 flushed down the toilet on food in just the last week.
So I saw you say that your Thai food was $100. Did you just?
I tip very well, Big T.
Okay. Did you order it again to your house, or
I did.
what'd you do? Okay.
But I had to get a different restaurant, which I was bummed out about.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it didn't deliver to my house.
But you could just do the same order again.
But no, that restaurant, it was
Oh,
outside
they
the
don't
delivery
deliver.
area.
Got it.
So it was like a double whammy. But I was not about to give up my hopes of Thai food.
And
Right.
once you do that, and you got to go through it again, and you got to figure it just seems so daunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you've got to the mental place where you're going to smash that order button, that's what you want. And having to start all over again, where you go through the 5,000 different restaurants,
I know.
it's like, man.
Did you realize immediately after you placed it, or when it got to the office?
Oh, I realized it when the guy called
Yeah,
me and he said the food's outside. So if I catch it early enough, I can change the address.
So you had already waited the full time that you thought when he called it was at your door.
I waited an hour for the food,
Yeah.
and I was just thinking about
That's the
food.
worst part.
Yeah, and then I had to wait another hour after that.
I mean, I did that once, but I was so traumatized from the experience that now I always like make sure to check the address multiple times.
Yeah, I got to start internalizing some of that trauma, and learning from it, and moving forward. So instead of doing any voicemails, I had an idea for something we could do today for questions. Stephen A. Smith has a podcast, and he tweeted out this morning, "Send me questions, good ones, please." I think there's 7 O's. I bookmarked that,
Okay.
and I thought maybe we could just
so
answer
excited.
questions that people had for Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
You want to do that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's go through the list here.
I thought we were going to submit a question.
Oh, we can do that too. What would you like to ask Stephen A. Smith?
I don't know, but go through these and we'll by the end we'll come up with one.
Okay, is Dak overpaid? Lol.
There's no such thing as being overpaid.
Ooh, I like that take. What about Deshaun Watson?
You're worth whatever someone's willing to pay you.
You think Deshaun Watson is worth every penny?
Jimmy Haslam decided he was. I wouldn't, you're worth whatever someone says you're worth.
Is Dak overpaid compared to other quarterbacks?
Yes.
I believe he's the highest paid quarterback.
Again, there is no such thing as being overpaid.
But if you're saying you wouldn't have paid Deshaun Watson that much, that means that
But
you
someone
think he is.
did.
But to you, would you have given
It's
Dak
not a
this-
subjective matter. It is an objective fact. There's no such thing as being overpaid.
GM Big T has a decision to make at the quarterback position. How much of your salary cap would you spend on Dak?
Not as much as they did,
Overpaid.
but you only
Overpaid.
need one person to make that decision.
Overpaid. Got it. What do you guys think?
Definitely overpaid.
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 Is it possible to be underpaid, Big T?
No.
Brock Purdy.
Well, that's the work of a union.
He's being artificially
Go off,
underpaid.
King. Drag those unions.
I mean that is true.
Yeah,
He's
it
not
is.
allowed
Yeah.
to have the factors of the market in play yet.
He is being held
So-
back by a collectively bargained agreement.
So
the communist NFL.
artificially, yes. But in a free market, no.
Do you think Brock Purdy is worth more than Dak Prescott?
That's an interesting question. No.
Would the 49ers be as good with Dak as they are Brock?
No.
I don't think so.
I think they'd be the same.
He's just a more accurate thrower. I think that helps in Shanahan's offense big time.
I would like to see Brock Purdy play for somebody else, and then I could make that determination more accurately.
I kind of don't want to see him play for anybody else. I want to see him just stay with the Niners and then have everybody say, like, if Brock Purdy played for any other team, he would suck. But just have him be good
I'm
on
not
the
saying
Niners.
he
People
would.
kinda
I'd
did that
just
with
be
Brady for a while,
interested
though.
to see it.
Yeah, they did.
Like it was always who was bigger, Brady or Belichick. Mm-hmm. And then I think that Brady got that big old feather in his cap. You look at Belichick's record without Brady, it's ass. And then with Brady, it's not.
What about Belichick coming back next year to coach Dak and the Cowboys?
Or our beloved Jags.
Yeah, that's true. So we out on Doug?
Oh, yeah, I'm way out on Doug.
Doug out?
I am way out on Doug.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Big out on Doug.
He said they need a culture change.
Yeah.
Is he advocating?
That was his job.
Is he
That's what he was supposed to do.
Is he like advocating for himself to be fired?
I think so.
That would be the greatest coaching decision he
because he's got, 2 big contracts that were like 4-year contracts with 2 teams. So he's probably got $40 million that he's made just from coaching, just from being a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way. I would not now, if you were like $40 million and you never have to pay attention to the NFL again, I might would do it.
Yeah.
Because I get no heartbreak on Sunday. It'd be nice.
It'd be good. But you got the game against Donnie's Patriots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping that would be, we'd beat the Bears and then we'd have the Patriots that stunk and maybe we could be back on track. But nope, now the season's officially done.
I thought they should have just given Doug a boat and said, if you get back to Jacksonville in this boat, then you can keep your job. And if you get lost at sea, then you're fired.
I hope for the rest of the season, that every ice cream machine near Doug Peterson goes bad.
That's very mean.
So you mentioned that the Jags are building a new stadium in Jacksonville. Why aren't they just moving to London permanently?
One, the NFL Players Association doesn't want them to go because the taxes are just crazy high. Like the amount of taxes that you'd have to pay if you played half of your games in London would make no free agents want to go there. Creates a travel disadvantage, like for one team, because they would have to go back 5 hours every time they played, at least in time zone change.
Yeah, that'd be so cool though, especially if they changed their names to like the London Lobsterbacks. And then you had the New England Patriots playing the Lobsterbacks, and it's like the Revolutionary War all over again.
I like that.
You'd have to do like 3 games at a time. Like they'd play 3 road games in 3 consecutive weeks.
Mm-hmm. They're doing 2. The Jags do 2 now.
Yeah, I saw that.
They play back-to-back. I think this is the 3rd year that they've done back-to-backs.
In London?
Yeah, but imagine losing to the Bears that way, and then you just got to hang out in London.
I didn't remember it
Hanging out in
happening
London's
before.
not bad.
I didn't remember them doing that before. I just saw the other day that they're playing there again.
Yeah, so they play one game that's a home game, and then one game that's an away game, and then whenever they come back, that's their bye week.
Those players have to hate that shit.
I would like a week in London. Probably have time to do some touristy stuff.
Yeah, maybe it'll be what they need. Get right game.
Yeah.
Second week in London.
Yeah.
Take a tour, go to the tower. Be like, Doug's going to this Iron Maiden if he doesn't win this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get the beef eaters after him.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another good question for Stephen A. Smith. Why did I pay $400 a month in child support for 3 years in my daughter before I got custody of her? Now her mother only has to pay $100 a month in child support on the same child. Did she depreciate in value when she turned 4? Please advise.
I assume, dude, the courts, like, he might be making more money than his wife, and like your child support payment is based off of like how much you're making.
Yeah, there's a chart.
You don't think
Yeah.
it's about how much income the child is bringing in? Like at 4 years old, she should be earning by this point.
Well, technically, she can't be overpaid.
That's true. Yeah.
That's true.
Like, yeah, at 4 years old, she can talk, so you can start monetizing that and doing like family TikToks with her and getting her takes on things.
Boom.
Yeah, this kid should be pulling her own weight right now.
Yeah.
Easily recouping that $300 difference between what you had to pay and what the mom has to pay.
I think it's super messed up when a couple gets divorced and the husband's paying child support while the wife remains unmarried. But sometimes that wife will get a new boyfriend and they're together for like 8 years, but they're just not getting married so they can keep the child support payments coming. Because the moment she remarries...
You're speaking of alimony, not child support.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. I'm speaking of alimony. Because it's true, the moment she remarries, then you like no longer have to pay it.
Sometimes it can, each agreement can be made differently. Like where sometimes you'll have that agreement and whenever you get divorced, it could be like an alimony for a term period of 3 years. Like it just really depends on what you negotiate.
Okay.
This is another question for Stephen A. Smith. One of my homies got a roach problem at the crib. They're so massive, the exterminators got scared and left. And at this point, he is considering calling animal control. I'm kind of scared to help him too. Any advice of what he should do?
Move.
Move is a good one. Start maybe a controlled burn. Smoke them out.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do controlled burns at my apartment in college when the trash problem got a little out of control. We'd put all our trash out on the balcony and we'd have a controlled fire, which is probably not the safest thing that I've ever done, but it was effective. Just burned that shit.
Yeah. That's my older brother's job. He does controlled burns out in New Mexico as like fire
you were gonna say
management.
That's a cool job.
Exterminator.
Yeah.
What does he do? He like digs up trenches and stuff and puts rocks down to firewall it?
Sometimes he'll have the flame gun. It's like this like dripping flame gun where gasoline drips out of the nozzle, and then there's a little lighter there too that sets it on fire, so you can control what you're setting on fire. And I couldn't tell you the specifics about how it's done, but yeah, they'll have a certain area that they have to do a burn through, because then it reduces the risk of that eventually turning into a giant forest fire down the line.
That sounds like a very cool job, though. What eat roaches?
What do?
What animals?
I think you get cats in there.
You think cats would eat the roaches? So you just get a shitload of cats, and then you call animal control.
Cats are great for pests
on
in
the
general.
cats.
Mice.
What other natural predator? Maybe spiders? You think spiders would eat roaches?
Just a house full of geckos.
Yeah. Get some lizards in there.
Yeah, a couple
Ooh.
snakes.
Amphibians do. Toads and frogs.
Yeah.
Just
Get Billy on the case.
Get Billy over there with just
Yeah.
a dump truck filled with frogs.
That frog army guy. Bring him over.
But Billy's frogs are probably pregnant.
Probably. Or gay.
Yeah. That's a good question, though. I'm glad that this guy asked Stephen A. Smith that. Let's see. Going down. Scrolling. Who should be the starters for the Golden State Warriors? Steph Curry. Easy. If America is so pro Second Amendment and guns, why doesn't Captain America have a gun, but instead throws his shield all the time? This question is for my 9-year-old son.
Usually in a school zone.
Yep. That's fair. That's it. That's a good point, though.
Mm-hmm.
Why does Captain America not have a gun? I'm not versed in the Marvel lore, so I don't know
Same, I
the
don't
real
know.
answer.
Never seen one.
So you've never seen one either?
No.
Didn't Captain America, wasn't he invented around World War II?
Yeah, I think he was to like stop the Nazis.
And he didn't have a gun?
I think he used a gun in World War II when he was fighting the Nazis.
Did he?
I don't know.
But I mean, he might just not need a gun.
He's so good at debate.
'Cause
He just goes over there and
He's
changes
got
them
that
up.
shield.
he
Yeah, he
took,
talks to Hitler and destroys him with logic and reason.
Mm-hmm.
he's a super soldier. Like, he took the super soldier serum, and he's got that shield that's made out of vibranium or
Oh, I don't know.
something
That sounds
like that.
right.
Yeah. But I do think there was a run of the comics where he did have a gun. But
It would be very anticlimactic, though, to see Captain America, like, he goes to war and he just shoots everyone. Like,
Yeah,
that-
I like it. I like that he's hand-to-hand guy.
hand to hand. Did anybody, chaps, in the military while you were in the Marine Corps, did you run into anyone that was just like, I don't need a gun?
No, you can't do it.
Really?
If you can't shoot, you can't be a Marine. It's requirement number 1. It's like week 5 in boot camp. If you can't shoot well enough to meet the standard, you can't be a Marine.
Were the drill instructors, were they anything like Gunny from Full Metal Jacket?
You don't actually, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like the way that they treated you and acted and everything, yeah. I mean, calmer. Like the Full Metal Jacket guys calm comparatively to what it is in real life. Like how violent they are with their screaming and yelling and like being right in your face.
What,
anybody-
you're saying it's worse in real life?
Way worse, yeah.
Did anybody call you maggot?
Not with an M, no.
Okay, if your
Times
life
were different in 2004, baby.
if your life was on the line and one of these would save you, which would you pick? Steph Curry has 3 chances to make a 3 guarded by Jordan. Barry Bonds has to hit a home run on Roger Clemens, but Roger has to pitch all strikes.
is Barry on roids or not on roids?
I think we can say Barry on roids.
That's
I don't even-
so easily Steph.
3. Well, how many out of how many? 3?
3.
I think I'm going.
No way. This isn't even a decision.
It just depends on how much you value Jordan's defense and like how into it Jordan is. Game 7, last possession, 3 times, I think I go Roger Clemens.
Is there a referee? That makes a difference too.
Because Jordan would cheat, yeah.
You cheat, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you call your own fouls? So if Barry,
what was Barry Bonds' lifetime batting average against Roger Clemens? I'm pretty sure that of the like major Cy Young Award winners at the time, that he had the best career against Roger Clemens.
well,
Okay,
Clemens
so just
pitched a lot
think
in the
about this.
AL.
Clemens, Randy Johnson, and Greg Maddux. I think he hit Clemens the best of all 3.
Barry
and had a
Bonds-
300 average against all of
No,
them.
so there were 8 plate appearances against Roger Clemens for Barry Bonds, and he went 0 for 2, meaning that he got
Walked 6
Six
times?
walks.
walked 6 times. Yeah,
Or sacrificed.
But
yeah.
think about this. He had 762 homers in 9,800 career at-bats. That's 8% of the time hitting a home run.
Mhm.
Now, that's including 99% of the pitchers who were worse than Roger Clemens.
Mhm.
So let's say you have a 5% chance of doing that. Steph is a 40% three-point shooter. Take it down to, let's call it 35, being guarded by Michael Jordan, and you have 3
I
attempts.
think Jordan takes off more than 7. But I see what you're saying. I still think, how many plate appearances? 1? How many plate appearances we're getting in this?
yeah. What I think it's 1 plate appearance.
Oh, 1, then definitely Steph.
Yeah, you
that's,
gotta go
that's
Steph.
nuts.
You gotta
like
go
if
Steph. 'cause
Those aren't even close. Even if it was
Yeah.
3 plate appearances, it's Steph by a mile.
also, is it Jordan now?
No.
I assume not.
We also asked Skip
Or Barry
Bayless.
now.
We asked Skip
If it's Barry then versus Roger now, give me or Barry all day.
yeah, for sure. We asked Skip who would win in one-on-one, Michael Jordan right now or Bronny, and he said Michael Jordan. He would beat him with intangibles. I love that answer from Skip.
I kind of agree with him.
You think so?
Yeah.
Like old, swollen Michael Jordan,
Yeah, I think
bloodshot
so.
eyes,
Yeah.
just right off the golf course.
But, I mean, I think I'll be one of those guys that even when Mike's like 80, I'll be like, yeah, he could probably come in and suit up.
I mean, he's infinitely more talented.
Does Jordan have
And I bet he still
glaucoma?
plays.
I don't think he has glaucoma. I think he might like a cold drink every now and again.
Okay.
That's my guess.
What would the record of a baseball team of 26 Barry Bondses be?
With 26 of them?
Would he pitch?
Yeah, so he plays every position. So you get Barry Bonds in the lineup 9 times, but he has to pitch.
Could I get like 1992 Barry Bonds pitching? Because I don't think that
Whatever
big,
year
jacked up Barry Bonds.
year you decide has to be all 26.
Oh, yeah, then yes. Absolutely. When he was a young Pirate and was fast as shit, could hit 40 home runs, 40 stolen bases, and had one of the most elite arms in the outfield, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you could have a playoff team.
Oh, no chance.
Yes.
Yeah.
No chance.
Yes,
Playoff
you would
team
have the best
easily.
offensive baseball team
No
by
chance.
far. And
Imagine having Barry Bonds be in the hole every time Barry Bonds is going to the plate.
Big T,
They're going to
they would-
give up
look at how many-
27 runs
look
a
how many
game.
They
time-
would score 35.
Look how many times he was intentionally walked. You got a guy that
But you
has
can't
more
intentionally walk Barry Bonds with Barry Bonds behind him.
Exactly. So you're scoring over.
Yeah.
I mean, they might.
Barry would
they're-
get a lot of pitches to hit.
He'd have like 20 run innings.
I think y'all are severely discounting the pitching.
I think
You're
Barry
at the
Bonds,
bottom half of a series.
And the infield defense.
So you're telling me the Pirates number 4 starter comes up and he's got to play the fighting Barry Bondses, and that they're not going to give up 50?
I think Barry Bonds, as a skinny outfielder for the Pirates, I think he could probably pitch in the, I don't know,
Mid 80s,
or maybe even 90.
90s.
Yeah. So you could get some people out with some junk.
I think there's a 0% chance that team could make the playoffs.
I say 100% chance.
That's ridiculous.
It's not when you
That's
consider
nonsense.
You have
I
the
don't think
best
you
hitter of all
understand
time
how
9
good-
times.
how good he was at hitting.
I certainly do. But you're going to have games where... Now, I guess here's where we need to discuss, too. All the Barry Bonds are different people, right? So in a day where the leadoff Barry Bonds goes 0 for 5, the second Barry Bonds could still go 3 for 4.
Yeah, it's not one Barry that's just up to bat.
Right.
You said a team full of Barry Bondses.
But y'all are... pitching is so difficult.
I'm aware.
and he can't do it.
And pitching is difficult when you're facing 9 Barry Bonds in a row.
Listen, that's the only reason this is even a conversation to begin with.
I think that Barry would get better as the season progressed at pitching too.
I don't think so.
I think you could go out there with his, if you just threw nothing but meatballs, like 90 miles an hour with a touch of movement, which I think somebody with his kind of arm could figure out.
Yeah.
Baseball's so difficult that even if he just threw gas down the middle every single time, you're going to get some players out doing that.
Now, that being said, a team full of Shohei Ohtanis would dust a team full of Barry Bondses.
They would go 128 and 34.
You think so? Yeah, you're probably right.
What, a team full of Shoheis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be the best team in history.
So you view Shohei as that much better of a player than
he can pitch.
Barry.
Yeah, he's a great pitcher.
Yeah, he is.
Babe Ruth. Team full of Babe Ruths or a team full of Shoheis?
Oh, man. If you had a team full of Shoheis, he'd be your number 5 starter, too, and your middle reliever.
Yeah. I actually think
Throw it like 130.
128 might be underselling it.
I think
140.
I think a team full of Babe Ruths would lose to a team full of Barry Bondses.
Yes.
It depends how you view the generational, like is it Babe Ruth? He played against.
Yeah, let's say that like
Milkman.
his skill set is equivalent just in the modern game. So he's that much more dominant.
Man, he's throwing like 85. Barry's taking him like 500 feet every other at bat.
But I'm saying that if it was Babe Ruth in the modern game and now his fastball is like 97, like he's progressed accordingly with the rest of the talent in the league. I still think that a team of Barry Bonds would beat him because he could not move in the outfield. He'd be too slow. So all those like little bloops that you had.
Especially with Barry being a 40-40 guy.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to mix up the lineup a little bit and have skinny Barry Bonds lead off. And then probably just every other.
And that's when Barry was playing, didn't even use the shift because he was hitting it all over the place.
Yep. Okay, another question for Stephen
That's
A.
a fun
Smith.
game.
Trump or Harris? Full election breakdown. Also, thoughts on the Tim Walz allegations.
Wait, what are there new allegations?
There was a guy on X.com, the everything platform. It's all happening on X. There was a guy on there yesterday that was starting to tease like big allegation that I'm dropping later on today. This is a big QAnon guy. Like he was running those circles, and he was also the guy that said, "I've got proof that Kamala Harris was using an earpiece during her debate. Stay tuned, subscribe to me, and I'll be dropping that news shortly."
Nice.
So this is a guy that's like strictly monetizing X.com. Which is against the terms of service.
I thought it was going to be him trying to load a gun.
No. There's that too. But this guy just came out with a story about Tim Walz molesting a child back in like the early 90s, and it's so completely made up. Like all the screenshots, you can see the cursor. He's like doing screenshots of emails, and you can see the like blinking cursor that's still in him. And it got a fuckload of traction, but then people looked at it, and even really anti-Tim Walz guys were like, yeah, probably shouldn't believe this guy because he's so full of shit. But that guy's making money. That guy probably made thousands of dollars yesterday on just interactions.
It's genius.
So, well, he might be genius, or he might be going to prison. So if he just made this up, and it all depends on like what Tim Walz does, because it got enough attention where like it's crossed his desk, and people at the DNC have definitely seen it. Do you sue this guy and draw more attention?
No, because I mean
story?
the ability, once you're vice presidential candidate or presidential candidate, the ability to sue for libel or slander is like so high.
But I feel like this would be a case where if you can, it should be pretty easy to prove that this guy made the screenshots on his own computer, which proves malice. I guess you probably have to prove damages too, right?
Yeah, like I think there's a bunch of like that's why it's so impossible to get somebody convicted in America. It's a lot, maybe in a European court be easier, but in American court that shit's hard as hell.
Yeah,
just to straight up win any libel or slander suit is difficult here.
The story was like Tim Walz took me to an Indigo Girls concert when I was in high school, and then it like explained all this stuff.
He was a teacher for a while. Like was this person claiming like to have been his former student?
It was a guy claiming to be a boy that was in his class at the time. But again, it's this guy that just made it up.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. And most people now are saying like, this is clearly fake. We should probably stop giving this attention.
Mm-hmm. Tim Waltz and I both did the same exact thing after college. Went to Guangdong, China, and taught English for a year.
How about that?
Yeah. So maybe I could become VP someday.
I've always said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big T, your thoughts on his gun loading abilities, and also Chaps, your thoughts on his as a firearms expert.
I mean, he was claiming that he does this all the time, which you would think it would have been a little easier for him, but
He was struggling loading the shotgun.
Yeah,
I
I-
didn't see the actual clip.
Yeah.
he was like, oh yeah, it's pheasant hunting season. I love hunting my pheasants, and he's fiddling with the gun trying to load it, and it took him a really long time. I mean, it's clear what they're doing. Like,
I have a theory about it.
what's that?
I think he's a hunter, but I think that he's probably not a very good hunter.
I also think it's like, for me, for example, if you put guns in my hand that I've never used that model, I'm not a gun expert guy, like by any means. Like if you ask me to explain the differences between this one and that one, if it's a military gun, I could do it by and large. But you give me a weapon from like Dick's Sporting Good and like, here, load this real quick, it might take me a minute. Like everybody acts like just because you've handled some weapons that you know how to handle every weapon, or you know the nomenclature and like the rate of fire for every weapon. That's just not true. Like, yeah, there's certainly gun guys, but you also can't be, I'm a hunter, I'm a gun guy, and then I haven't seen it, but if he's like really struggling with the basic bitch shotgun, which is what you would use for, that's tough. That's a tough look.
Tough. Like I think he's not a good hunter. I don't think he does it a lot, and I think he's like, yeah, we'll take the camera out here. I'll show him one of my favorite pastimes.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh shit, can we edit this, please? All right, last question for Stephen A. Smith. If you're at a friend's house, do you look in the medicine cabinet?
Yeah.
You do?
Oh yeah. I love snooping.
You snoop in the medicine cabinet?
Well, it depends on whose room it is. If I'm in their parent, like if you brought me to your parents, probably. Like I'm looking.
check it out?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it. I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah.
I think this used to be a much bigger thing back in the
I
day.
think like maybe if you're addicted to oxys or like looking for pills.
Yeah.
I do not snoop in other people's medicine cabinets.
Yeah, that does sound like drug addict behavior.
I think it'd be very fun. I think snooping is fun, and I think that there should be like an Airbnb for snooping.
Oh, just have like a preloaded gold mine?
Like if you put your house up and you did it just like an Airbnb, but nobody can stay there, but people can come in and they could snoop for 20 minutes.
Just look around.
Yeah, they can't mess anything up, but they're allowed to go in and snoop. Dude, I'm signing up for that website. I don't care what's going. Like I'd look at the people and be like, "Oh, I gotta fucking snoop here."
Yeah.
I would love to snoop. I like snooping and I like stealing.
What was the last thing you stole?
It's been since I was in like middle school, but it was a rush.
It was a rush.
I stole so many Free Willy CDs back in the day. That song was
The
fire.
River of Jordan.
And I will then say with thee,
Yeah, it's a good
you
song.
are my friend. That shit goes.
Do you think that's the best song to ever appear on a soundtrack exclusively?
Oh, there's one.
Eric Clapton changed the world, I think.
That one was good. I also really like, I think it's probably canceled now, but P. Diddy and Jimmy Page and Godzilla.
Oh, yeah.
You can stop me now.
Yeah.
It's that one, right?
It was,
where he's like does like a talk over it, basically.
Ain't
yeah.
nobody do it better. It was
The sun gonna shine forever, but you better.
No, I don't think that's it.
Cashmere by Led Zeppelin.
I did.
With Diddy
Come
rapping
With
over
Me?
it. Yeah, Come With Me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's it.
I bought the Godzilla soundtrack. Maybe the last soundtrack I bought.
Yeah, that shit's fire.
Also, the Black Panther soundtrack is pretty fire.
Mm.
If you're a fan of Kendrick Lamar.
Pure Country, George Strait. I think he just wrote that entire movie just so he could do the soundtrack for
The
it.
Coyote Ugly song was good.
What was that?
Undo the love is done, and I'll deal with you. You know that one?
No, I don't know that
it's Leanne Rimes.
Oh, it sounds good.
Yeah.
I've always thought it'd be funny.
Thank you, by the way.
Yeah, it was great. I thought it'd be funny if George Strait was actually gay and that was his stage name just to throw people way off the scent. George Strait. 'Cause
The gay George Strait.
there's some very funny like old album covers with George Strait where he's like in these poses with tight ass jeans. And at
Yeah.
the time it was like this is what a man looks like. But
Yeah.
now it's like this looks kind of you never know.
It's not real jeans unless I could see every vein in your cock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You never know.
Fuck
but yeah,
yeah.
if George, he's like, I can't be a star in country music if I'm a homosexual. I got to change my name. I got to really force
Throw him
my
off the scent.
masculinity. I know George Strait.
Yeah. They won't ever see it coming.
He was in that movie. I think that was Pure Country, where he It was in the contract that it was a love story, but he wasn't allowed to kiss the female romantic lead because he was married.
Oh yeah, there's a couple actors that do that.
Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah.
I always thought that'd be really weird if you were married and one of the two of you was an actor and they had like sex scenes or kissing scenes. Would you be okay with that?
Especially like if your
you gotta
spouse
be
is
professional.
hot. Like if your Hollywood spouse is crazy hot. Like being Brad Pitt and watching Ross, fucking David Schwimmer, get in there on Jennifer. Get
Yeah.
out of here. You don't deserve that.
I'd be okay with Ross. Ross is not a threat.
I mean, that's what Blake Lively said in her latest movie. She had a kissing scene with a guy, and then it came out. She was like, the guy kissed me for a little too long. And, like, there was a lot of drama.
Oh, yeah. I
Between
remember
them.
seeing that. Yeah.
I feel like sex scenes would be very, very weird, especially ones where you have to pretty much be naked.
Do you think they boner shame?
I don't know. I think there's too many people, too many cameras and directors, and you very much know that it's a movie that you're shooting. It might be hard to get, but I'm sure it does happen from time to time.
Yeah. I just don't like the fact that thinking that somebody's getting shamed on a movie set because they got a boner.
Yeah, if it happens, is it like everyone else have a nice little giggle about this?
Yeah. I
Do
hope
they
not.
destroy that footage? Because I'm sure sometimes the penis or the vagina gets into the shot. Do they just like burn that right afterwards?
Because I like to think if I'm making out with a dude, he's getting hard. Like, I feel like I would
Well, it
view it as
depends the
like an
dude.
insult,
Uh-huh.
you know? Like, if you're making out with somebody, you want them to get boned up.
I don't know. That's a tricky question. I guess so. Like
No, how is it tricky?
they're kind of judging you as a kisser.
Yeah, I just feel like I would feel bad about myself.
Yeah, like what am I not good enough for you?
Right.
Not on a movie set, though. There's, as PFT said, there's so much going on. These guys are professionals. I'm sure they can keep the boners down.
I mean, Glenn Powell with Sydney Sweeney.
You're both getting boners. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's
Rocked up.
boned up.
Mad Dog McKenzie, do you guys have a comment about medicine cabinets?
I'm
Do you snoop?
trying to think like if I definitely would take a peek. I think it's different from taking a peek versus like looking in their like at their prescriptions and then like looking up their prescriptions because I like know
Taking
that's
a
the
picture.
thing. Yeah, like I know again not in like a, I'm gonna steal your drugs type of way, but like if you see a pill bottle and you're like looking at the pill bottle and you're like wonder what this is about, and then you're looking that up, that's a bit too far. I've opened my friends. I don't think I would do it with like a stranger. I think I do it with like my close friends where I'm like, what do they got going on in here?
Yeah.
There's a level of trust.
Yeah.
That's why I had an issue with the VA. The VA will put what the medicine is for on the bottle. So like mine, if you opened up my medicine cabinet, it'll be like Lamictal for bipolar disorder.
Yeah.
And it just says it straight up on there.
Yeah, no, I think I would. I don't think if I was like at someone's house that I didn't really know, I would look. But like my girlfriends, yeah.
Well, Chaps, as a snoop, do you pre-prep when somebody comes over to your house and you're like, they might snoop in mine? I got to make sure I put my big dick medication out front.
Well, now it's like if you went into my bathroom to snoop, then you earned it. Like I feel like you really deserve to know what kind of medication I'm on. Mm-hmm. But if I would have a house still where it'd be like on the main floor, a shared bathroom that people would look out, yeah, I would set the labels up so they wouldn't even have to like move it or anything.
Yeah, so make it easy on them.
Yeah, or if you want a full list of my medication, just let me know.
I'm good.
I feel like people are way more private about that. No one cares.
Yeah.
I don't care if people know a medicine.
What's the most embarrassing thing you have in your medicine cabinet right now? Get ahead of the story. What do I have in there? I've got like seven bottles of naproxen or prescription strength aspirin that are probably like 15 years expired. Mm-hmm. Like I have the most expired medicine possible in my house for my age.
See, I think that's just you flexing that you're really healthy.
No, that's me flexing that I've been injured.
Does medicine actually expire? I don't think I believe that.
I would think that like antibiotics do.
Maybe.
Yeah,
But like, there's no way ibuprofen expires.
probably not.
But you can't buy like amoxicillin for yourself or penicillin for yourself, but you can get amoxicillin for fish. And it's the same thing.
You sound like one of these ivermectin guys.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
Like if your fish, one of the things, like if a fish has infection or there's like bacterium in the tank, you can go to like a fish store or farmer's market type of place and get fish amoxicillin, and it has the same active ingredients.
That's wild.
Yeah. I know that because my mother-in-law used to do it when she would have a
took fish-
toothache.
She took fish ivermectin, fish medicine.
She didn't have health insurance,
Did
so
you
she
have
would
to-
go get fish
Did
stuff.
you have to like sprinkle it into her coffee, like so it floats
on top of
it?
a muffin, yeah.
Yeah. And if you're on antibiotics, you have to take like the entire thing, right? So you shouldn't have old antibiotics, right? But I think you're supposed to take all of it, because if you don't, then the bacteria or whatever's in your body can, like, some of it can survive.
Super spreader.
And it can learn how to defeat that antibiotic that you were taking. And then you can give it to somebody else, and then they won't be able to take antibiotics for it.
Yeah, you really put us all at risk if you don't take all of your antibiotics.
So finish your medicine.
Yeah.
If you take one thing away from this podcast, finish your medicine.
Exactly right.
I got bit by a tick over the summer. Had to take all my antibiotics.
Damn.
Oh, did you really?
Where at?
Martha's Vineyard.
No, I mean on your body.
Oh, it was on my leg. And the thing is, I think it was on there for maybe 3 days.
Oh,
Because
shit.
like I felt something on my leg, but I was like, that's just a scab. And then finally one day I was like, oh shit, that was never a scab. That's a tick.
Yeah.
Mackenzie, do you snoop?
I don't think so. I don't. I think I more so look at like if they have like skincare or any like girl products
Yeah.
rather than their medicine.
Yeah.
If I do snoop.
For girls too, if you walk into a girl's bathroom and you can see what skincare they're using, that tells us a lot about a person. How much you make, how much
yeah.
you like care about like stuff like that. Yeah.
So what's like the gold standard if you walk into a woman's bathroom and you see a certain type where you're like, damn, she's got it going on?
For like skincare, it would be a brand probably like Sunday Riley is a good one, Mackenzie.
I honestly don't know.
Like Sunday Riley, or for like makeup, like Westman Atelier, or like anything like a lot of designers like Giorgio Armani has like their own like makeup skincare line.
What about that Korean snail cream?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's not
yeah.
as expensive
That was
though,
a
but
big
that is good for
TikTok
you.
trend,
Yes, but like
It's a slime from a snail?
It's like
it's
Yeah.
snail
mucin.
mucin.
It's actually mucus from a snail, and it's like the best.
It like locks in
Facial
hydration on your
moisturizer ever.
face.
Oh,
Yeah,
Most
the Koreans
Korean
are killing the
skincare
game,
is like
yeah.
top notch.
Yeah, like Korean sunscreen is like the best for you.
They age really well, right?
Yes.
Koreans?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like Ola
Well,
Henriksen,
half of
that's a
them.
good one.
Yeah, good point.
True. Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
If you say like I've got North Korean skincare stuff in my bathroom, I would be more likely to try that for myself than I think like the real
Yeah.
good stuff. Like I want to know what they're putting on their face in North
Yeah.
Korea.
But like Korean skincare is like a big trend. And then like what's the mask you had that like the collagen mask?
Oh
that
yeah,
soaks in your
collagen.
face?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think the most embarrassing in my house is the donkey milk that we got in Qatar.
Oh yeah, donkey milk that rocked.
I think that was a facial moisturizer too. Or was that like to whiten your skin?
It was skin whitener.
Okay.
Whitener?
Yeah,
Shout
they,
out
Sammy Sosa.
they sold it in the market in Qatar.
The
We
opposite
bought
of
it because it
tanning
was called donkey milk, and you like squeeze it onto your hand and you rub it and it becomes like a paste. It becomes like glue almost. Wow. And you just put it on your skin and then you have to peel it off later. But yeah, it's well, I forget the name of the brand on that.
I think that was a skit on Jackass too.
The donkey milk?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. It probably had some donkey cum in there. This episode of Nanodosing is brought to you by BetterHelp. Halloween lets us have fun with what scares us, but what about those fears that don't involve zombies and ghosts? Therapy is a great tool for facing your fears and finding ways to overcome them. Because sometimes the scariest thing is not facing our fears in the first place and holding ourselves back. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you're thinking about starting therapy, I would recommend it. It's good for everybody, and you should give it a shot if it's been something that's occurred to you. So check it out at betterhelp.com/dose to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/dose. Another question from Stephen A. Smith's Q&A. If you were a fish, what ocean would you want to swim in?
India.
Indian Ocean.
Yeah.
Indian Ocean's big.
Yeah.
Pacific's
it's-
way bigger though.
It's true.
So I'm going to go Pacific just because you got the most room to roam around.
More room.
I'm going India because I feel like it's more exotic.
Yeah, I'd go check out like Madagascar, Sri Lanka.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't know.
I would be in.
Lots of Americans have been to the Pacific Ocean. Most haven't been to the Indian.
Yeah, MH370. You could try to track it down.
Yeah.
Get down real low.
A lot of pollution probably around the Indian subcontinent.
True. I would be an activist though.
You would be an activist fish.
Chaps would swim intentionally into like a 6-pack holder of soda,
Yeah.
and then beach himself on shore
Mm-hmm.
next to a wildlife photographer. Make sure
Yep.
that you're false flag. You'd be the Jussie Smollett of fishes.
It would be. Yeah.
You go find out where Greta Thunberg was and swim through a
Look
patch
what
of
happened
oil.
to me, Greta.
Greta, scrub me off with a toothbrush, Greta.
Where's your light Dawn soap that cuts through oil?
All right, anything else we want to get to today? Big T, what's on your mind?
Oh, I had a teed off.
Okay, go off.
Reading lights on planes.
Yes.
It's 2024. If what you're reading isn't on a screen, you don't need to be reading it at night on a plane. You're shit out of luck. I was on a plane Friday night late, and it's completely dark except for this one asshole next to me who's got his reading light on.
It's pretty bright.
And it's like, dude, first of all, yeah, they are. It was like crazy how bright it was. And it's like, come on. Either have a phone and read it on the phone or a Kindle or whatever, or it's an hour and a half.
What was you reading?
I don't know.
Let me just say that I want to give that take a standing ovation.
You like
That's
it?
a fantastic take.
I was
Get
just
it out of here.
I was just pissed for an hour and a half.
Yeah. I also think that they shouldn't be able to open up your window unless it's past noon. Until noon.
Okay, I like that take too. I like
But
that a
even
lot.
Nothing
that-
gets worse than 8 o'clock takeoff, and then it starts like somebody opens it up and it's bright and you can't sleep.
Yeah,
I agree. But even that, I think, isn't as bad as the reading light.
the reading
No, I
lights,
agree, yeah.
it's overpowered.
It's crazy.
It's wild how powerful that each individual light is at each individual seat.
It's a
Yeah.
look at me move, I feel like.
For
Like,
sure.
You feel like you're more important than everybody
Look at me,
else.
I'm reading a book.
Yeah, look
Get
at
a
me.
job.
Yeah. Or a Kindle, you poor bitch.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
they're
Download
what,
from the library.
$60?
Right.
I mean, come on.
And download from the library. You don't have to pay for it. Use Libby like a real man.
There you go. Big T, you went through Knoxville security, I would imagine. Knoxville TSA. Do they have any new guns that they've confiscated?
Do you know about this?
Yeah, because it's the best.
Is this because so now that you mention it, Knoxville is really the only place I see this.
Yeah.
But they have pictures as you go through the TSA line, and there's 20 of them of Officer Johnson confiscated this weapon on March 19th. And it's just, I'm like, who are all these people going through TSA at the Knoxville airport with loaded guns?
Yeah, it's crazy. The
John
amount
Morant.
the amount of pictures. Yeah, that's a good point.
Probably.
The amount of pictures they have up of all the firearms, and they're all from the last 6 months too.
Yeah,
So,
they were
this
all
is-
recent.
This is a very frequent thing that happens, I think, only at the Knoxville airport.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's been a thing for years, as they always have that. Yeah, there were new ones up.
Yeah, good. Keeping the skies safe. All right, so Halloween's coming up, and we've got Pup Punk going on the road. If you're in New England, if you're in New York or Connecticut, New England, we're playing at Toad's Place in New Haven, which is a great, very cool venue. And so it's the day after Halloween. I think Pup Punk is going to get dressed up in Halloween outfits, but we're trying to figure out a good Halloween outfit to wear for the whole band. I think it'd be good if we all dressed up as Andrew Tate. If we all put on bald caps and the glasses.
I haven't heard much from Andrew Tate recently.
Is he in prison?
He
No, I think-
was.
He got out of prison.
I think he's still supposed to stay in Turkey. I think he's on house arrest in Turkey.
Okay, because he got arrested in Romania.
Romania is what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. Romania, that's such a wild place. Like, I don't know how that's why he chose to move there or why he chose to move there.
I think
Tax haven.
Yeah, I think it's
Oh,
tax
okay.
haven and some sort of
Internet laws, too.
lax cam girl laws. We were
Yeah.
driving back from Philly to the airport after the last Pup Punk show, actually, and the driver in our Uber that was taking us there was this Philly cop, and he was talking to us about how like shitty the crime is in Philadelphia, how he hates all that stuff. And we're like, so what do you like to do? And he's like, well, I go down to Columbia like 3-4 times a year because I got a cam girl set up down there that I run. So this guy was like a digital pimp complaining about like Philadelphia.
Meanwhile, he's human trafficking.
And he
I
told
don't-
you
he-
about this?
Well, he's not human trafficking. He goes down to Colombia.
95% of the time, you're doing cam girl shit in a different country. It's probably going to be human trafficking adjacent.
He made it seem like he's got like a setup down there, like multiple women that work for him in the cam
So
girl biz.
instead of running a call center, he runs a cam center. And
Yes.
like all these girls have their little cubicle and they just do.
I've seen way too many episodes of SVU
Masturbation.
to abide that.
Yeah. Who's your favorite from SVU?
I mean, Stabler's a Marine, so.
Yeah.
But he
In
left
real
for a
life
while.
or in the show?
I'm actually not sure.
I know in the show he is.
I think he has. I think that tattoo would be a really crazy thing if they put that tattoo on him all the time. So he has the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor tattoo. He might be a legit Marine.
His name is, what's his name? Elliot Stabler. Elliot Stabler, played by Christopher Maloney. Let's see if Christopher Maloney was a devil dog or if he's stealing valor. Let's see. He went to St. Stephen's. He was a quarterback. Then he went to Colorado Boulder, where he took acting classes. Then he
I'd
went.
say the odds of taking acting classes at the University of Colorado and then join the Marines are pretty slim.
Well, just let's read this through here, because
I
after
took
that,
theology classes at Southeastern Seminary and joined the Marine Corps.
after that,
I think that's way more likely.
it
Yeah.
says he moved to New York afterwards to study acting at the neighborhood Playhouse School of the Theater.
I'd say we just went from slim to none.
So never a Marine.
Never a Marine. He was a construction worker prior to getting a break, becoming known in acting. So it sounds like he was just like doing some odd jobs while he was looking for acting gigs.
Stolen Valor Stabler.
Yeah. Shout out Dick Wolf,
Yeah.
the GOAT.
So is that a real tattoo or is it fake?
I don't know.
I think he just looks like a former Marine. So they were like, we need to get you this
What's his
tattoo.
name? Christopher Maloney?
Christopher Maloney, yeah. He's a mainstay at Rangers games and Knicks games. He's always on that Jumbotron when they show the celebs. I like Mariska Hargitay.
It is fake.
She's the best.
It's a temporary tattoo that they put on him
For
every
like
episode.
Every episode.
Interesting.
All right, well, that does it for nanodosing today.
Wait, one more thing.
One more thing.
Your shirts.
Our shirts, yes. We got the Jimmy Carter 100th birthday shirts. Chaps, Donnie, would you guys like one?
You got one.
I gave them
You
to
got
him.
one?
Already got one.
Very nice. Celebrate Jimmy Carter's birthday in style. He's still alive. Kind of.
So is who are we talking about? Was it Willie Nelson?
Yeah, Willie Nelson.
He played at Austin City Limits. He was like a surprise guest. And
That's
I was
great.
like, there you go, still alive.
That's great. Still kicking.
He's 91. Yeah.
And Blake looks awesome in his Willie Nelson Halloween outfit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Looks youthful.
Yep.
Chaps, do you think Tate would come on for our Romania episode?
Yeah.
He'd be a great guest.
He would be.
He went on BFFs back in the day.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
I would just love to see Caroline dressed up in like a bald cap
Yeah.
with a goatee,
Yes.
sunglasses.
Listen, I can't think of a better idea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, let me know if you think of one. Big T, you got any?
I don't even know what we're talking
Halloween
A
costumes.
group
about.
Halloween
Oh,
costume.
I thought. Well, what were y'all talking about? Romania.
That's where
Andrew Tate.
that's where Andrew Tate's at now.
Oh, got it. Oh, you were saying. I thought you were talking about Ohio's Tate.
Oh, no.
Something about Romania, and then you said Caroline. I don't.
Yes,
I had
yeah,
no
yeah,
clue
no,
where
no.
the fuck we were.
That was like a Barstool Mad Libs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a Halloween guy, so
Hot to it.
yeah.
What about All Saints Day?
it's not really.
More of a fall festival guy?
Yeah,
The whole squad's dressed up as Joseph?
yeah. I mean, I was a big Halloween guy up until 2007.
What was your best biblical costume?
I don't think I ever did one.
Show up to church and Beelzebub be a hero.
We did do we did do the like trunk or treat thing once,
Yeah.
but it was like normal costumes.
What's that?
It was- That's where the church doesn't want kids to go trick or treating, so they say come to the church parking lot and go trick or treating in people's cars. Like everybody parks and has candy sitting out at their car.
To avoid the razor blades and the apples. And
I think
the
it's
ghouls.
just, but
The
then
Viagra
you,
gummy
but
bears.
that was never on
a good
Halloween.
idea. I'm
So
gonna
you
do
would,
that this year at the house. I
but
think.
that was always just like the day or two before Halloween. So you just go do that and then go to real Halloween anyway.
That's good. Double candy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's nanodosing for today. On Thursday's episode, we're going to do the Duggars. The Duggar family.
Oh, man.
I'm so excited.
Oh, man. And we're going to
Man.
try to get a Duggar on.
Fundamentalist Baptist culture is unbelievable.
Do you want to join?
Yeah, I dated a girl that did Baptist culture like that,
Yeah.
and her dad was an absolute wild card. Yeah, I could join for that.
Yeah, Chaps, they're IBLP.
Yep.
Can't wait. Going to be good. So, and then I think next week we might do the YSL trial in Atlanta because there's been some wild shit going on with that.
Young Slime.
Young Slime.
That one guy, Woody, is one of my favorite internet people in a long time.
You like Woody?
Oh, I love Woody.
I just love how
When he looks over, he's like, I can't get in trouble for anything I say, right?
Yeah.
And well, me and whoever shot up this place, we killed 2 people. So now we can't be. I mean, it was genius.
Yeah.
To say your crimes for murder into a mic where the judge is saying you have immunity for this is genius.
And you've got just all the witnesses going up there and be like, I don't remember.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't recall.
I know I told you that earlier, but I don't recall any of that.
And one time Woody was just like, I love making stuff up.
Yeah.
Why'd you say this? Because I like lying. It's fun.
All right. We'll see you guys on Thursday. Love you guys.